welcome to Hillendale Parks Community Meeting for June 14th, 2021. We've got some exciting news today. Alexis is gone. I was going to have her start with that, but I'll start with mine. Oh, okay. Do you want to give the treasury report to start with? Because that's kind of your deal with what's changed.
Yep, and I'm ready. Yes, so the biggest change is, as was mentioned, you can now pay your dues through PayPal, which is fun and easy and quick. And just still remember to fill out the form in case any information has changed. And our current balance of the bank is $1,030.55. We've gotten about 3 new members in the past month when I went and checked the PO box. So people are starting to pay attention and know that we're here.
Pretty exciting. All right. All right, cool. Very nice. Thank you very much, Alexis. From me, I just want to say again, thank you, Black Captains, who delivered throughout the cicada season, running away from them, because I had definitely been doing that this last few weeks. So I've been enjoying that. Our yard sale went very well. We had eight members or 8 households participating in the community yard sale. So it was the first time we'd ever tried that. So that was exciting. Brandon, do you want to bring up the dumpster day stuff since you're here?
Yeah, why not? So we have dumpster day coming up on July 10th. We're going to have 2 dumpsters. They're going to be at our normal spot. So one's going to be kind of at the end of Conduit, and the other one's going to be on the other side by Matt's house on the other side of the field. We usually have, I think they're from what, 7 a.m. to noon? I can't
Something like that, yep.
But usually they get filled up around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and once they get filled, they take them. So it's probably not best to wait till noon, but to start early in the morning and start filling them up, and then that way, you know, your stuff's the dumpster's gonna be there when you get there. So they take normal trash. You can put recycling in the dumpsters. No electronics, nothing flammable, no paints, anything like that. But and it would be nice to have, if we could have a couple volunteers at each dumpster, just to kind of make sure the right things are being put in there and things are kind of pushed towards the back, and just kind of help make it a little bit easier. So if anybody's available, that would be great. It's a fun event. It's a good time, a chance to get out and meet different people in the community and help out.
Okay. I know I'm planning on manning one of the dumpsters, so we need another team on the other side. So if any Fagans want to help out, I heard they're good at sorting things, so it's an option, throwing it out there. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much, Brandon. So we've got our 990 coming up. That'll be 1st of July. We'll be doing that. So we can be stay in compliance with taxes. Always a good thing. Stay in compliance with them forever. That's our goal. I believe Alexis also updated our PO box in May. Correct, Alexis? Yep. So that's good for another year. Nothing else changing with that, which is nice. I like it when things don't change. They just work. We also were talking about doing a Hillendale Park Fall Festival. We talked about doing some pumpkins and some decoration and doing that kind of like in the green zone. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about on that? Freedom to chat. Okay, nothing on that yet. All right. So that was that. Did not happen. And I would like to do caroling in December, so everyone warm up your voices. We're going to have at least 3 people, me and my kids, singing. So if you guys want to join us, we're going to go out in whatever weather it is. I'm excited about that. Oh, she's already started. She just started Heart to Herald, just like that. She's ready. So that'll be something coming up in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had for the day. Is there anything community-wise we should be putting down from you guys? Lee, you're so quiet today. Are you sure?
I don't have a thing to say, so why should I talk?
Okay. All right, well, I guess then we're just waiting for our representatives. We're pretty much done with our meeting. That was easy. An easy day. Thanks, everybody.
When is the dumpster dates again?
July
sorry.
10th.
Oh, that's it? Just one day?
Yep, it's one day with two
Mhm.
dumpsters. So the
Oh.
dumpsters are on Conduit and Daytona and Daytona and Dust.
Oh, okay. I'll still be out of town that day. I'm so sorry. I thought I'd be able to help, but I won't
The
be.
world travelers, can't stop them.
able.
Can't stop them. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I guess that was a quick meeting, guys. I like quick meetings. Now we just wait for delegates and representatives, I guess. Does anyone have any questions for them? We'll just record them now. That way they'll be unsure of what happened when we get there. It'll be exciting.
Cathy shouldn't be very much longer. She's
Okay.
actually at a Flag Day event
Oh, yeah.
with the Boy Scouts, and it's live. It's in a park. They're burning flags that need to be destroyed in honor of veterans.
Is that what Flag
So-
Day is for? I don't know the history of Flag Day.
Of what?
What is the history of Flag Day while we're waiting?
I don't know the history of Flag Day. I have no idea. I just know it's today, and I know it's always June 14th. So
Lee, do you know Flag Day's history?
No, other than it's my father-in-law's birthday.
Well, obviously it's good to memorialize that. Yes, I agree.
somebody,
Well, he's unfortunately long gone. So, but that was a prerequisite when he said something to me, what is today? And I said, it's your birthday. He said, yeah, but what is today? And I said, it's your birthday. He
That's
said,
it.
what is today? And I said, your birthday. And he said, it's also Flag Day. Don't forget that. I said,
Mhm.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Easy peasy. Got it. Hello, Delegate Jackson. How are you?
Good. Hello, everyone. I do apologize for being late. I had to pick my son up from daycare, and so I certainly apologize.
I'm sure he appreciates being picked up.
Yeah. I think it's more fun when Daddy picks him up than Mommy. So.
Mhm. So we are actually done with all our formal stuff. So if you'd like to give an update, go forth.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, again, thank you for having me, everyone. So glad to be here. I just wanted to talk about a few things. First, as everyone knows, the session was a little different than every other session that we've had or that has been had. Because of COVID, they split us up. 141 of us, they split us up, and half went to that was called an annex location, and then the other half was on the floor of the house. And so that had its unique challenges, especially being in the annex. I was in the annex location, and we had to vote virtually. So we voted off of iPads, and it was a little challenging because you had to press the screen just right, because if you press the screen wrong, the whole screen would light up, and then you start panicking because you don't want to miss the vote and things like that. So we had a few of those kinds of instances. We also had what we called the phone booth. There was a booth that was set up in Annex where if you wanted to speak on the bill that you had to go into, and it had to be sanitized every time someone go in there and every time someone left. So if multiple people wanted to speak on a particular bill, we were waiting quite a while just to make sure everything was sanitized and cleaned and all that. We had to wear our mask, all the time, except for when we were in our offices. So that was a little, challenging, because sometimes it's hard to recognize folks, when they have the mask on. We did our best. And so in terms of what we were able to do, we were able to secure over $1 million in bond initiatives for District 8. And some of the things we were able to secure was a new electronic marquee for the Overly High School. They currently have the older style one where you have to physically put the letters in, and all the letters are different sizes and things like that. So now they'll get a digital marquee where they can put any messages, you know, as you're riding by, they can see them digitally. So that's good. We secured money for improvements for the Linover Park, which we were really excited about. We secured money for improvements to Double Rock Park, which we are really excited about. And we secured actually $600,000 for to complete the funding for the turf field and athletic facility at Parkville High School. So that project in itself was over $1 million. And through the years, we would just secure money, you know, during each session. And lastly, we secured money for the indoor scoreboard for Overly High School and sound system. The one that they have is outdated and have issues. So we were pretty proud to be able to secure that money for our district. One of the most important bills that we as District 8 legislators was able to pass was the registered sex offender legislation. As everyone know, we had an issue at Parkville High School where a student who was 21 years old was allowed to attend high school known as a registered sex offender. We as legislators only found out because of the news. I'm sure everyone saw Project Baltimore in reference to that. That's how we found out. And, you know, and that should have never happened. So we tried to get the legislation in last legislative session, but the clock ran out because of COVID, of course. So we brought it back this year. And to my surprise, it was pretty difficult to get that bill passed.
Got to be joking.
You know, so it took Senator Klossmeyer, Delegate Mandari, myself, really just like pressing folks. I mean, we were up against the clock before signing day, and it was really tough. But we got it through. But it was hard work. But I'm proud we was able to do that to make sure we are protecting students, all students in the state of Maryland. It also extends to daycares and things of that nature. You know, we got to do all we can to protect our students, and what happened at Parkville should have never happened. And so I don't know if you all seen Project Baltimore. They kind of ran a segment about the bill getting passed and all of those kinds of things. And so I'm proud to be able to have been able to be a part of that, to lead the effort, to co-sponsor the legislation, and we got it passed. And it's actually the first piece of legislation of its kind in the United States. So we probably will see other states follow suit. So you know, big round of applause to District 8 for really stepping up and making sure we're protecting our school children. We passed a big bill for the COVID Relief Act, which was a bipartisan bill aimed to help struggling Marylanders. It infused the state economy with $105 million in spending and provided over $1 billion in tax relief and tax credits. Some of those include direct payments of $500 for families or $300 for individuals who filed for earned income tax credit, putting stimulus money directly in the pockets of low-income Marylander taxpayers. This provided over over $175 million in relief to over 400 Marylanders. We raised the earned income tax credit for individuals without any children from nearly $100 to $530. Unemployment insurance payments will be exempt from the state income tax, keeping over $225 million in the pockets of unemployed Marylanders. We allow small businesses to keep the sales tax collections of up to $9,000 over 3 months. We helped up to 100,000 small businesses and nonprofits to deter paying unemployment insurance taxes until the first 3 months of 2022. And this is to help with the cash flow. We forgave Maryland taxes on COVID-19 loans and grants, which is really important. And we converted up to 50,000 in equity participation program loans to grants for minorities and small business loans. So a bipartisan bill, definitely needed. We wanted to make sure that we were making sure we was holding up our economy, taking care of our Marylanders and small business owners at the same time. We were able to balance the budget. So at the beginning of session, with the financial issues caused by the pandemic at the forefront of our minds and facing a $1 billion deficit as a result, ensuring fiscal responsibility was the most utmost importance. So in response, the General Assembly passed a fiscal year 2022 budget that eliminated the structural deficit over the next 2 years. It restores the rainy day fund, and it leaves a cash balance in the account for unseen impacts of COVID. And as you know, the governor really spent down the rainy day fund, because of COVID and making sure that we were protecting Marylanders when we were at the height of the pandemic. So we were able to restore all of that and have a cash balance left over. So the Maryland General Assembly passed a $52.4 billion budget that invests heavily in Maryland values, which includes $572 million in expanding testing, contact tracing, and vaccination, $13.5 billion in Medicare funding to provide healthcare coverage to over 1.5 million residents. $1.6 billion to ensure solvency of the transportation and unemployment insurance trust funds, over $600 million to reopen schools safely and include $80 million for HVAC and ventilation improvements. So we definitely wanted to make sure that when our kids go back to school, that we have the utmost and updated HVAC system, ventilation systems, to make sure we're keeping any spread from occurring due to COVID. $371.5 million for Maryland community colleges, which represents a 9% increase over FY21. So we wanted to make sure we were still taking care of our community colleges. $85 million for local parks and playgrounds throughout the state, and $2.1 billion in cash reserves, including $1.4 billion in the rainy day fund and $696 million in the general fund. And that erased projected budget shortfalls for FY23 and 24. So I think we did a really good job balancing the budget and making sure we were spending the dollars where we need to be, and erasing those budget shortfalls. A big part of that was due to the money that we received from the federal government. And so that's how we were able to do that. Of course, we had a lot of issues concerning unemployment. I know for myself, and I'm sure the Senator Klossmeyer, Delegate Bundari, and Boatler, we were inundated with issues with constituents having with unemployment. As a result, Senator Klossmeyer led the way. She helped get through a series of unemployment legislation that would help, kind of make the system better. And so part of the bills that were passed would improve customer service, it would create more accountability, and it would help prepare for the next possible emergencies to make sure we're not kind of go through what we did when the pandemic first hit. We still having some issues, as I'm sure you heard in the news, with the unemployment. But me being on the Economic Matters Committee, we just had a committee meeting with the Labor Secretary, and we're staying on top of it, making sure that we're holding them accountable, pushing them to make sure that every constituent's case is being addressed. We're still having issues where constituents are not able to get through, and we're making sure we're passing on those concerns to the Labor Secretary as well as to the governor's staff. As well. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's pretty much all that I have. Of course, we passed police reform that came through. We was able to get that. That took up a lot of time. A lot of what was passed in the Baltimore County police reform legislation was in the state reform legislation. And so I was happy to be able to support that. There were some things in there that I didn't support, but there were a lot of things in there that I did. And just as for myself personally, as an African-American man, you know, I felt like there were a lot of pieces of legislation in there that would make sure that you know, policing, good police officers are doing what they're supposed to do, and the bad ones are being held accountable. And that's about all that I have. I'm willing to take any questions if anyone has any.
It's a few months.
No questions?
Maybe they're on mute. If anyone thinks that they're asking a question, they're probably on mute right now.
No. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank you for all the great information.
Yes, thank you.
Sure, no problem. And
If anyone has questions later on, you can either email us and we'll send them out to all of them, or his email address will be in the notes as well.
yes, please do. Please.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
That was easy. Hello, Carly. Welcome.
Hello.
Did you want to speak to the yard sale since you were the major driving force behind it?
I'm sure it went well.
Okay.
I don't know what you want me to speak to exactly.
Would you do it again? Did you enjoy it enough that you would do it again, or what was it? Or what was your takeaway from it?
Yeah, I just feel like we need more participation. It would have been better, you know, better reach to the people in the neighborhood. I don't have any, you know, I didn't really have much access to do that. So the advertising was, you know, tough in that sense to get people to participate. But, you know, it was first time we've done it. So
Try stuff. Gotta try stuff.
yeah, got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
So not too bad. I mean, I did decently myself.
Do the best things in your house by the end. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So just maybe more participation, more traffic, but yeah. Weather turned out fine. So
It
that
was a
was
beautiful
good.
day. It was
Yeah.
a beautiful day.
Yeah, not too many cicadas then, so that was nice.
Yes. Lots of, and you are right next to like Cicada Central with George's house. That's quite a bit.
We have lots of hunters down here, yes.
Well, now we're just waiting for Miss Cathy Bevins to show up. I don't know what her timetable is for that.
Okay.
I've heard from Cathy. She's going to be a few minutes, and she's sorry it's taking so long. Where she was at, that went off a little later than they anticipated.
It looks just like her.
Hang in there. She's
right
coming.
there. She's coming in right now.
Oh, good.
Hello, Miss Cathy.
Hi, Joseph. Hold on. Can you hold on 1 minute?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We're just ending up here. I just wanted to make sure I got on. Are you finished with your meeting yet?
Well, we're waiting for the update from you, and that's all we got left.
Okay. If you can give me just 1 more minute, I appreciate it.
Oh, I think we can do it.
I'm at a flag burning ceremony, so I can't walk right out.
You can throw the video the other way. Let's see the flag burning.
Okay. Just hold on 1 sec. I'll let you all be a part of it.
All branches of the service today. The Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force. I guess we need to get it this flag so we got space for it. We'll tend to the fire.
This is appropriate for Flag Day.
The rest of the meeting. There's one more thing we want to do tonight. Freya, Mark, you want to come forward? Compton, you want to sit forward?
Yep, I lost you, Joseph. I lost you.
Duncan was a COVID Eagle Scout. He had his Eagle Scout board review last year. And he couldn't have his Board of Honor to receive his badge until this year on May 22nd. But we forgot one thing when we had the Board of Honor. We forgot his neckerchief and slot. So we're going to present that to him tonight.
No, go ahead.
Congratulations. I'm going to read one last section of our ceremony tonight because it's fitting that we prepare these flags. This is the story of how taps came to be. In 1862, during the Civil War, a Union Army captain, Robert Telephone, was preaching the American plan in Virginia.
Joseph, can you hear me?
I sure can.
I can't see you.
You, your camera's been flipped, I'm pretty sure, or you can swipe to the right.
Okay, hold on.
That is probably the first flag burning I've ever seen.
I know, I thought I'd share it. Let me see. Why can't I flip my phone? Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay. Okay. I'm getting ready to walk away. It's very appropriate for Flag Day.
Boy had been studying music in the South. When the Civil War broke out, he joined the Confederate Army. He had never told his father of his decision. Captain Telephone asked permission to have a military burial for his son, even though he was an enemy combatant. He also asked to have a regimental band play a funeral dirge. His fingers refused, but out of respect for the captain, he was granted the use of one musician of his choice. The captain chose a bugler. He asked the bugler to play a series of musical notes that he found on a piece of paper in his son's uniform. The haunting melody that we know today as taps. The words to that song, the melody shortly, go like this. Day is done, gone the sun. From the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest. God is not. Fading light, dim the sight, and the star jumps the sky, gleaming bright. From afar, drawing nigh, falls the night. Thanks and praise for our day. Beneath the sun, beneath the stars, beneath the sky. As we go, this we know, God is not.
It's a hard sound I heard to play.
This concludes our flag retirement ceremony. Thank you all for coming and participating with us. We're going to let you move on to your regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay, guys. I'm yours. Thank you for.
Well, that was not what I expected this meeting, but that was pretty cool.
I know. I didn't mean to hold you out, but I couldn't walk out at that point, and that's my first flag burning as well.
Okay.
So
I think your camera's still backwards, though.
I know. Let me. Thank you, Joseph. I don't know why I can't flip it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, there it is. If I put my glasses on, I can see. So you've already had your meeting, right?
Yep.
You're just waiting for me.
We were, well, I didn't know we were waiting for a flag burning as well, so that worked out very well.
Well, that should have made everybody's Flag Day.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you know the history of Flag Day? We were discussing that.
Yes. So you know, so this is something nice for the community to know. Never throw a flag away.
That's right.
You're not supposed to throw them away. So you can call any Cub Scout or Boy Scout troop, and they will gladly take them. And they do these ceremonies about 2 or 3 times a year. And it's a nice way of, you know, dedicating the flags, and everybody like dedicates it to somebody that served or lost their life or has lost their life since they served. I dedicated mine to my grandson, who is currently at Virginia Military Institute, and he's preparing himself for the Navy and to serve as a Navy SEAL. So I thought it was appropriate to kind of do something for him.
Cool.
Okay, so let me put my regular glasses on. Do we still have anybody with us? Or my
Oh, yeah.
We got quite a few.
Okay.
And now
Thanks,
let's grill her with questions. Oh, wait. We got to wait till she says what she wants to say first.
Oh, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for waiting for me. And because, you know, the Boy Scouts in our communities, they work so hard on community projects, and they're just outstanding young men. And I just didn't want to walk out of their program before I had to. So thanks for hanging in there. I know Doris has been on the line, right?
I'm here. Yep.
Okay. This is great. Okay, I'm just gonna have the meeting in the car now. Okay, so
Data's out of the car. Good. Get them all out of there.
I'm good. I can only see you, but I guess that's all I need to see. And I know Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I saw them. So thank you. It felt good just to be out of the house today, and you know, amongst people and in the sunshine. And I'm sure everybody's feeling the same way. So thanks for continuing to have your meetings, although virtual. Some of our communities have not been doing that. So thanks for, you know, keeping the records and keeping in touch with everybody and pulling it together. So I want to thank you, Joseph, again for your leadership on behalf of the community, and also all the folks serving on your board. So I guess what I could talk about is we just passed a really big budget, $4.2 billion. It's the largest budget we've ever passed. And the county council passed it without cutting. We as the county council we can't add to the budget. We can only cut, and we didn't cut one dime from it. We actually thought it was one of the best budgets that have ever been put forth. It had historical funding for both education and capital projects. And the 6th district, which you live in, got $20 million just in capital projects. So that was a big win, and I'm really happy about that. 10 million of it is going towards building a new Red House Run Elementary School, which is not in your community, but it's in Rosedale. But, you know, as we rebuild these schools one by one, it's just great for communities and students and staff. Also, Parkville High got $2.4 million. So I'm excited about that because their renovation's not that old. I haven't seen the exact plans on what the 2.4 is going to be spent on. But when I get that, I'll be happy to share it with you because I know that your kids go to Parkville High. Let me see. Oh, another good thing some of the money went to for any folks, kids that you know, or even we have more adults actually than kids going to CCBC. And they've expanded the program for the College Promise by 500 students. And what College Promise is for every person that applies either for a credited course or a course that, you know, you get a diploma for, you can apply for every single application that's out there for grant money, any kind of subsidy to pay for your education. And then once all those have been used up, whatever your balance is, College Promise pays for. And it is really going to change communities because 86% I think is the number. Don't quote me, but it's pretty high. I think it's 86% of the folks that attend any of our CCBCs. They live in the communities, they work in the communities, and they stay in the communities once they get finished with their courses. So they become a working part of our communities.
Oh, wow.
And I never have a problem helping people with their educations like that. And when I actually got to meet someone last summer, a young lady that was my food server at a restaurant, and I'm just chatty, and I asked her, what she was doing for the summer, and she said, I'm actually getting ready to go back to school. And she said, and I never thought I was going to be able to go, but I got the college promise money, and I'm the first one in my family to go to college. So that gives me goosebumps and makes me really happy. And yeah, so I think it's a really great program. I guess one of the things that your community struggles with is probably code enforcement issues, like any other community, whether it's rodents or just a blight on a yard or a house that's been vacant for a long time that has code enforcement issues. And it seems it's been taking longer and longer to get these issues, to get the code enforcement officers out there to even look at the issues and then write up the issues and then get them into before a hearing officer. So now finally with this budget, we have hired 6 new code enforcement officers, which should really make a difference in what code enforcement is doing around the county. So I'm just super excited about that. Almost 50% of our, 52% of our budget went to education. And we funded education $10 million over what we did last year. It's the highest amount of money we have ever given towards education. And that is so we can replace our schools, whether we're either adding additions onto our schools, replacing them because they're falling down around themselves and full of lead and asbestos, and you can't even drink out of the water fountains, or the communities are too large and they're just not adequate for the students. So there's a lot going to be happening in the next 10 years in Baltimore County as far as replacing schools, raising old schools. And like I said, the Red House one is going to be a new elementary school in Rosedale, but we're also just broke ground in Nottingham at Nottingham Park for a new elementary school, and hopefully a new middle school behind that. So we're really working hard on that. It takes $40 million to build a high school. So it's not easy. It's not cheap. And nobody wants to pay higher taxes. So, you have to get smart with the way that you build schools. So that's about all I have about the budget that I think you'd probably be interested in. The rest is kind of boring. How are you guys doing with like your code enforcement in your neighborhood and speeding issues? And did I miss that kind of stuff, Joseph? Like people contributing to what's going on in the community that they need a fix for? Doris already have that.
This is an opportunity right now, so.
Okay.
Opportunity, go ahead.
You got me captive in my car. I can't go nowhere. So I can't see anybody. I don't know why. I can only see.
Did you try swiping your camera?
Let me go on participants. Let's see. Nope, still you.
I'm sorry. You have to look at me. I'd rather.
Swiping. I'm still swiping. There's everybody. Not everybody. I see Brandon.
So you have multiple screens as you swipe that way.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see some more folks. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm so out of kilter just running from one thing into my car and trying to do this. Look, I'm in my 60s. I'm surprised I can even do this. There we go. We got a couple people. We got
Does anyone want to bring up
phone.
anything in terms of code enforcement or anything like that, guys?
I know, I think it was brought up once before. Good evening. This is Alexis Sariano. I live on Ridgely Oak Road. And I think we have commented, or Ms. Blum has commented once before how they speed like down this hill or up this hill. I am at the top of the hill, so I can definitely attest to that, because when I go to walk my dogs, I feel like I have to be extra careful.
Sure.
Some cars will see me, and then other cars are just like just going about their business, blow through the stop sign. So I know, I think at one point we had talked about maybe speed bumps or something, but I don't think it was possible. So yeah, I can definitely, and I know Hillendale got speed bumps, but I feel like people still, they just go drive over those even faster.
Right,
So
So
just
spikes next time.
so I don't know if Joseph
Right.
has explained or if he even knows the process for traffic calming. So when you have an issue like this, okay, first you reach out to the police and you complain about the speeding, because then they send patrol cars over to set up a radar on an afternoon. But just remember, the speeders are probably going to be your neighbors. So just be ready. Be ready for that. So if the police then say, yes, there's definitely an issue with speeding, then they start counting cars. And what they do, have you ever seen like the little strip across the road and you wonder what they're doing with that wire across the road? It counts cars. Okay. So then they do a car counting. So you have to meet a certain criteria between having speeders and how many cars are in your community. And a lot of these smaller communities don't meet that criteria because there's not enough traffic, unless you're a really major cut through, which Hillendale is. So then you go to traffic engineering on our website and you apply for traffic calming. And the traffic calming website, your community, you can do it as a community association. And so if the money's there for traffic calming right now, because the budget's was passed, so that money's there July 1. And so that's my job on the council, to make sure that the funding is there for when people like you ask for traffic calming. So if you, they say, yeah, you can have traffic calming, then you have to go door knocking, you, the community. You have to door knock on just the one road that is getting the traffic calming. And you have to get over 75% of the people on the street to agree to the traffic calming, because not everybody wants it. They don't like the speeding, but they don't like the humps. They don't like the thump thump in front of their house. I think if the hump actually goes in front of their house, they have to sign off twice. So, you know, you have to have enough participation to do that. So criteria: speeding, number of cars, filling out the application. Did I get all that right, Doris?
Or Trevor, because he went through this process too.
And door knocking. Yeah.
Trevor
took
that petition around to all the neighbors on Hillendale.
Right. The petition, the petition will bring awareness, but the petition doesn't get you the traffic calming. The neighbors still have to sign off on it. Just because they signed a petition doesn't count. You still have to have a full name, address, phone number, email address. Traffic engineer double checks with everybody. And, you know, we can get them fairly quickly if you qualify. So I just don't know how many cars come through your neighborhood, but so until then, you can, all you gotta do is reach out to the precinct, or reach out to the substation or the precinct and just let them know, that you're really having an issue. And now kids are getting out of school, and now that COVID has kind of been lifted and kids want to be outside, we want to be careful. We want to make sure that kids aren't going to be in jeopardy of getting hit by a car or you walking your dog. So there is a process. Okay. So, but Joseph, you as the president, I would send an email to the police department, talking about the speeding and where it's occurring, and request that.
Okay.
If you can.
Oh.
Thank you. For
Okay.
all the information.
I know you're busy because you got a lot of kids in your house. We can do it on your behalf if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. Doris, are you there?
That was easy.
Doris is not there.
She's on the phone. So can she talk if she's on the phone?
Oh, I muted her. I'm sorry. I muted her because she was echoing you.
Okay.
So Doris, try to unmute if you can. Because you can mute people as a host, but you can't unmute them, which is probably
she's just on the
pretty good issue.
She don't want anybody seeing her curlers and her pajamas. Just kidding. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. So hopefully we can at least start a process to make you feel safer on the street.
Yes.
Doris just sent me a text saying I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
and I answered a text and lost you. Okay, so
There she comes back. There you go.
I got you back. I got you back.
From other people in the community that aren't on right now, I know on Oakley, there's been a lot of code enforcement issues. I think
Okay.
he said he's got 30 or 40 outstanding code enforcement issues next to him.
Ooh,
I think it's right near 8,008. Is that right, Lee and Dave? Where Zemanek is at? He's right near you guys, right?
Which one?
James Zemanek. He's real.
I have no idea.
Okay, he's like 2 houses away from you, anyways. He's right on the corner of Oakley.
Well,
but
if he's right on the corner, they were down there today cutting it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it
Like
was the
there's
same
a fire,
people.
a burnout, and then his house, and then next to it, there's like 30 or 40 issues.
Yes, all right.
So that's been.
Well, the burnout is like, are they going to redo that? Or are they going to demolish it? How
It
long-
seems like communication is very low from the owners there.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
the
know.
owner, the owner that was there way back when we had the Hillendale Park Community Association back 100 years ago, he was
The president.
the president.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I was treasurer, and I basically was trying to keep the club open so we wouldn't have to go through all the paperwork again to start again.
Mhm.
But I don't even remember the house being, I don't never heard the fire engines and all. I just see all the wood and the burnout and just wondering how long that's gonna last.
Right. Right.
I mean, the plywood is up on the windows and I don't know.
Do we even know who?
a
the
lot of
owner
times
was?
it's insurance. A lot of times we have found that it takes a very long time because the insurance company's investigating. How long has it been since it's been boarded up? Do you know?
I'd say that at least a month
Well, it's been longer.
or
than that.
longer. I don't know.
Probably
A
I
fire
around.
think
that
the
were on
problem
fire?
is when we leave here, we go towards Taylor, down Taylor to Perry Parkway. We don't usually travel that way.
Okay.
But
Well,
with this building that they're doing on Taylor Avenue where they have the roadblock, we've been
God.
going that way.
Yeah,
I would
I
say
drove it the
from
I
his
drove it
reports,
the
I
other
think
day.
been
It's like
at
a
least 3 or 4
minefield.
months.
Yeah,
Joe.
we had a problem in another neighborhood with a house, and it was like 6 months, and it just seemed like nothing was happening. And then we found out that there was a investigation by the insurance company, and they don't always take,
Right.
as
Well,
quick
that
as
makes
we'd like
sense.
them.
The negative being
Yeah.
that he's saying that people are still living in there without water, without anything, and he's like,
Whoa.
This is not good.
No.
Not good. So
Okay, Doris says she's muted, but she can hear us.
okay.
Doris, get the address.
It's actually the
And,
corner of Oakley and Bon Air. Yeah. No, Oakley
Yeah,
and Orlando.
I
But we
think
need-
I'm
but we need-
unmuted.
we need a number though.
Okay.
So,
Can anybody hear
Don't-
me?
Yes.
yes, Doris, we hear you.
Good, fine. Okay, thank you. Somehow I did the magic.
I muted you because you were echoing Cathy as she was talking. So I didn't want to
Got
have that later on. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so Doris, you're listening about this burnt out house?
Yes.
Okay,
Is there
okay.
somebody that I could call about it?
Yeah, code enforcement, if there's somebody living in the house, well, the house has got to be condemned and code enforcement will do that. If there's
Well,
no
no,
electricity,
Is there somebody at the meeting that I could get information from and I could
oh,
call
that's
them
what you're asking.
about it?
Yep, you can
Yeah.
call me later if you'd like.
Okay, Joseph is your man.
Okay, fine. Yep. Well, I will do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
We'll look into that. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. That tells me they may not have insurance at all because they have nowhere to go. And usually your insurance company will put you up somewhere. When you have.
Can I
and
say
it's-
something? Hi. Are we talking about the house that's close to Putty on Oakley?
No, this one's closer to Taylor.
Okay. Because there's the other one on the other side that's burned down.
There is?
Oh,
The one, if you go, Joe, like take a right from your house
Mm-hmm.
and then take a left onto Oakley on the right-hand side, right before you get to the light for Putty. Do you ever go that way?
So I'm, let's see.
I go that way every day, but I've never noticed. So I'll have to pay
No.
attention tomorrow when I drive to work.
It's like a little tiny house, and it's sandwiched in between the newer houses that they squeezed in there on Oakley, but
On the
If you're
left or on
talking-
the right, the single detached homes or the townhouses?
single
they are-
detached.
Because there is one house that's down like a driveway a little bit, and I noticed they were doing a bunch of roof work and a bunch of something going on. I didn't know it was burned, but yes, I have
The
seen
house
it.
had caught on fire and burned down. If you look at the fence right next to it, it's all melted from the
I'll
neighbors.
have to pay attention. Okay.
Yeah, that it's like plywood on the roof or whatever. I thought you were speaking of that house. That house burned down. From what I understand, there's like a 74-year-old woman that lived there that had no insurance. And so if that's still sitting there all boarded up. So I didn't know if you were speaking of that one.
Mhm.
That's my knowledge to that, if that comes up as being an issue.
Hmm.
Just to tack on to if someone's going to write a letter about the speeding, I'm on Conduit with Joe, but I'm at the other end next to Mr. B. If anyone knows him, Mr. George.
I think most people know.
We have the issue here as well. When writing the letter, I believe there was some police chase that happened through the neighborhood within the past month that ran down either Ridgely Oak or Hillendale there. That was a whole big issue. So that might want to be included in that as a little extra, push. The only thing I wanted to ask, and maybe it's been spoken of before, I'm newer to these, joining the meetings and all. What's the best route to contact someone about actually repairing the roads? Our road Conduit here is quite a conduit for water, shall you say,
Okay.
constant erosion. And so there's been, county crews out at different times. I'm sure Mr. George probably has fussed enough, and they'll do patchwork here and there. But not anything that's properly done. And that's, actually fixing the issue for
So
any
you're
longevity, anything more than 6 months.
So you're talking about total repaving? And so are you saying this is a street that's had the same issues as some of the other streets in your neighborhood? Is that what you're talking about, and having the curbing and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a capital project that costs anything over $100,000 is a capital project. And I think that we have 3 or 4 streets done now. I know David Mark's got one done.
Yeah,
And then I think, and then we got 2 more.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought we were also doing the water program next year.
That's true.
Yeah, we're supposed
That's
to have all
true.
the water lines,
Yes.
water lines fixed.
Thank you for that reminder, Brandon. Appreciate it. So yes, you're getting new water lines, which is going to be great because you'll have better pressure and you won't have any more breaks. Usually that's what happens. They're redoing them all over the county because
I've
our
heard about that for
infrastructure.
the past few years. Yeah. So I didn't know when they were getting around to this
Right.
side, because there's a lot of
Right.
issues with people's water lines being completely destroyed too, going to their houses because of it. So I've already been talking to my insurance company to make sure that that coverage is taken care of.
Okay.
Yes, that is a good
So,
idea.
so the water lines are going to be replaced, and that's pretty painless when it happens. They dig up about 2 feet of your road. They don't pull up the old pipe. They leave the old pipe down, and they put new pipe almost right next to it. And all the count out, we hire a contractor to do the work. County closes up the road. Then you will have a divot that's 2 feet wide. You'll have that divot, and you're going to have it for about 12 months. Then after that sinks, because they want to make sure it's totally sinks down, I will already have you on the list asking for the repaving. And I've always gotten the repaving for every water line on every road so far. So fingers crossed you would be no different.
They
So-
did do something in front of my property and cut a big hole in a trench. I thought it had to do with water meters,
Okay.
but I'm
That's-
not sure.
Yeah, that's totally different. The
unless
water
that was
make
the
the water line replacement is going to go up the entire street.
Right.
And it will be work every day. They'll move about, a half a block every day. It's a pretty interesting process to watch. And then all of a sudden they flip the switch and the water goes all the way up just goes in the new,
Right.
the new little, and they're not made of terracotta like the old ones are.
Right.
But it's too much work to take the old ones out, so they just leave them in there. And like I said, they will repave right there, but it will eventually sink in. And you have to let it sink in, because if you come out and pave the road too early, then you'll have a little, divot in there. So it usually takes 12 months, but these are the roads that I put on the list for repaving. So it's going to take a while, but you're going to get a road.
So do we have any way of like tracking where we are in the list and finding
Doris, we can
years?
ask.
No, we do
No.
not.
No. Okay.
It's a little different.
Oh, you know
than FedEx,
why?
yeah.
You know why?
Yeah,
It's
well,
always,
that's I think. Just give me the straight answer, yes or no.
well, here's
They don't
the
commit to
thing.
that. They don't
It's
commit
all
to
what-
time.
They can't commit because they can't
Right.
commit because of weather. I remember summer, I thought I was going to get 4 projects done. And remember the summer it rained for, every other day 4 years ago? Well, that backed everything up. But we can only do these projects from around April to October.
I work for a
And just-
general contractor. I
Yeah,
know.
so you
about
know,
state
yeah.
highway and roadway.
Yeah.
That's
So
why-
we only have this much of a timeline, and we have projects around the whole county, and each one of us have our own list for our own district. So they won't commit because of weather, for one, and you don't know who's ever going to get sick on a crew and that kind of thing. And emergencies happen. They could have you down for Tuesday and then have a water main break somewhere, and they need all the equipment out there at the water main break. So that could back you up. So no time commitment, but you're going to get done. You're going to get done because you're on the list for the water line.
I'm looking
I hope
forward
that's-
to it. though.
I had
Okay. I had a question
for this
on.
neighborhood and
Oh, go ahead.
if they have any improvements going on. I'm sorry. Did you not hear me?
Nope. Say that again.
I was asking in reference to the elementary schools. You spoke a lot about the high schools and, Parkville in particular, and, new construction renovations and things of that nature. I'm more concerned about the elementary school. Our neighborhood is Pleasant Plains.
No.
Are they anywhere on the list for anything? Because they're continuously just adding trailers and that building is horrendous.
Yeah. So what happened with Pleasant Plains? Well, what the county executive did this year was they hired a vendor. We approved the $75,000 to pay this vendor who has no skin in the game, right? No emotions. His kids don't go here. He don't live in Baltimore County. It's not political. He's just got no skin in the game. And his job is to have an analysis of what schools get replaced, which ones need to come first, and who just needs an addition and what. Pleasant Plains was on the list, but that list was like, there was a list of 20, and I'm going to say it was halfway down. It was halfway down. So, and now it depends on funding. Now, what's happened was meaning the county, it started with Kevin Cabinets, the past county executive, we did a pay it forward, and we put a ton of money into our budgets for construction of schools. But I hate to say this, and I don't like to blame other people, but there's no way around it. The state did not come through with their share of the money. And we could not, and they're trying to do the whole state. So that's been difficult for us. I was supposed to have a middle school shovel on the ground now at Nottingham Park, which would serve David Marks in my community, and it got put on the back burner because the state money's not there.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. So I know about the trailers, and
they're so understaffed, overpopulated. I mean, it's horrible. I've got a 4-year-old who's ready to go, and I'm trying everything I can not to have her go there. And I have a 9-year-old that we pulled out of the school, and she's going. Her mother lives in another area, so she's going there. It's just it's sad.
Like 150% capacity or something, right?
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. And the poor teachers, I just feel bad for them because they're just stretched so thin and they're doing everything they can, but it's not enough.
Right,
So,
right.
Oh, and
And
homeschooling.
there we go. Joseph, are you homeschooling?
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
blast. You don't even
You
get
had a
tired.
fun,
It's amazing.
you had a fun winter. You had a really fun winter.
well, I did that for the past year, so I'm ready for my tax money to, you know, be put at work.
Joseph, we should have been sending you care packages all winter. Holy
I
moly.
know.
I accept them
So,
now. I accept them now.
yeah.
I'll send them. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll take them now. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
I'm
so
getting worried about the elementary school system for our directorate here.
listen, there's no easy answer to it. And the problem isn't development in your area. There's not been any new development
I know.
like on the east side, like in my Middle River area where, you know, we're building a lot of new
Yeah.
communities. Your issues or in your community is people either dying off, moving out, and where there was, you know, the original owners and they were there forever.
Right.
You know, now younger
But now
families
the
are
new
moving
crop
in.
is, yeah, now the
Yeah,
new
and
crop
young,
is coming in.
right, and new families are coming in with little ones, and
Uh-huh.
it's actually exciting for communities to have, you know, children in the communities again.
Yeah. But the
Joseph,
sad
it's
part is the
exciting.
word on the street is you don't want to move in this area because you want to go to Villa Cresta or you want to go over to, you know, what's the other one over there? But yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, have you been in the Pleasant Plains and spoke with the principal and actually talked to the teachers over there and walked the school?
Not
Or are you
since
just saying you,
not
or are you
not
just saying
since
you don't
pre-
want to go?
not since pre-COVID.
Okay, okay.
It's hard to get into
You
school
know,
at this point still too.
right. And listen, I got, you know, you and another school close to is Halstead or Hillendale, whatever everybody's calling it. And that's under capacity, just about. And they got a wonderful principal over there and wonderful staff, and we can't fill that school. You know, it was a magnet school, and now it's not even a magnet school anymore because we couldn't get,
Because we
yeah,
can't
it
get
was
the
a
funding.
science and math magnet school. And,
Mhm.
you know, parents weren't willing to put their kids on a bus and send them to Halstead Academy. So, yeah. Yeah. But all these overcrowded, you know, elementary schools lead to our middle schools and then to our high schools. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
Well, they
coming.
better
I
get
do,
ready for the next wave. That's all I can say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
Well,
here.
the only thing that I can tell you is to participate in your PTA and be
Yeah.
vocal and, you know, write your elected officials, be as involved as you can in your children's schools. And because the squeaky wheel sometimes just does get the oil quicker.
I know. It's a tough job, but yeah.
Yeah,
My
it
mom
is.
was
So,
a high school teacher for 40 some years down in Howard
oh
County.
boy.
So I know the system. I'm used to, I grew up in Ellicott City. I'm used to Howard County. So I'm used to a different level of quality. And so it makes it a little more, you know, it makes it tougher for me to accept some things, but I also know all the politics with it. So
Yeah, that's true too. Well, I wouldn't judge the quality of a school by how many children are in it. We have great teachers in our schools and great leaders. You know, and I think if you have a motivated principal, you have motivated teachers, and then you have motivated students. And I've been in some of the schools that are you know, Title I schools, and people are like, I don't want to send my child to Title I school, and they're the most welcoming schools, and the children are learning, and the grades are coming up, their test scores are coming up, and it's a good thing. So, you know, that's not the case for every school, but I'm just going to say I have a lot of those great experiences walking into a school and watching children learn.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck to you. Good luck to you. That's all I
Thank
can
you. But thanks
say.
for speaking with us. Yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
for speaking.
sure. Okay. Joseph, you got anything else?
Well, I was just thinking, you guys are improving drinking fountains, but drinking fountains have been off limits for like a year and a half, right? In all schools.
We've been doing what? I'm sorry.
You guys said you're putting money into drinking fountains in the schools.
Drinking fountains.
Drinking fountains? Well, no, we've had to, oh my gosh, it's been a huge expense of bottled water into the
Right.
schools because the pipes are so old to our drinking fountains, you can't
Oh, I
use
thought it
them.
was
They're
for a
they're
germ issue.
contaminated. Now with new schools, of course, you'll get new ones, and they are pretty cool in the new schools. They're not, the sinks aren't in the bathrooms. You come out of the stalls and there's an area where everybody washes their hands, which is great because the teacher's there and she can see both boys and girls washing their hands and making sure that they're doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah.
stay where I'm at. That sounds good. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So we provide drinking water to, and children are allowed to take bottled water
Right.
and have been able to for a couple years now. Yeah. So.
Any other questions for?
Yeah, real quick, can we get back to that capital improvements and roads? Specifically, I'm speaking of Ridgely Oak Road. Sure would be nice to make it like Hillendale, Bon Air, and Dalesford Road.
Well, we will continuously put them on the list, Ron. We will continue to do that. Doris is writing that down right now as I speak.
It has to have a water relining project first.
Right.
Before
Well, he heard that. That's what I'm saying. But he heard that, Ron, right?
I heard what?
That the water project has to go before they do the paving.
The water relining. The water relining project has to happen first because they tear the whole road up for the water relining project.
Okay. I thought we were talking about conduit for that, but we're talking about Ridgely Oak also?
About the whole bang.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be our whole community in time.
That's right.
They'll do road by road.
Of course, Dave and I have been living here for like
30 years.
53 years. And the only thing we've ever seen them do is patch a hole here or there. So we're hoping that it doesn't take another 20 for them to finally do what they're supposed to do.
Well,
it's not going to.
We're done. 3 roads were completely
I got to by lots of years, and I agree with you at the roads.
Well, you've gotten 3 done since I've been in office. You've
Not
got 3
ours.
whole roads done. Well, I don't get to choose. I don't get to say, the county comes out and they decide what direction they're going in. And they did Hillendale. The last one they did was Hillendale because it was the most used road, and it was the most beat up and the most used, and it's the cut through. So they did that one. So they decide what roads I think go next. And with this whole with the whole water relining, it's just going to be which one comes next, and whoever gets the water relining first, and it settles after that 12 months, that'll be the first road to get done.
Let's just start. Let's pick conduit. We've broken the most water lines. Let's go conduit.
I'm trying. I got neighborhoods flooding out Middle River because they don't have curbs, gutters, storm drains. We're trying to figure out, they're almost below sea level. It's an issue with flooding. Not Harford Park, Glendale, Glenmont, huge flooding issues. I'm talking through their houses, next to their houses, carrying everything away in the yard. So we definitely have some water issues.
But Middle River,
yeah, which is
right there.
And it causes a lot of erosion. The more rain we have and the more of these storms and really hard rains, the erosion just gets worse and worse and tears the roads and the sides up even more. So that's not helpful either. So guys, I'll just keep going at it like I have been for you.
Now, like when erosion happens and a whole bunch of like rocks and stuff get thrown into the street, is there anything that is done for that, or are we just supposed to do that as a community? What are we supposed to do with that?
Geez, that's a good question, Joseph. Nobody's ever asked me that. I guess you don't want to sweep it back because then it's just loose rock and it's just gonna. And then I guess if you pick it up, I don't know. Is it enough to where you think the county needs to come out and
I didn't know if the county did something like that. I had no idea. So.
We can call Public Works and ask them to address it.
There you go. Oh, Doris will call. So somebody's going to have to make the call to us for us to know that it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Is that like a Baltimore County Go app kind of thing, or is that something different?
You could do that, but you get more, you call us, we're quicker than that, I think.
Yeah, we could say we have to go.
you know?
Yeah, because definitely at the bottom of Ridgely Oak, this past flash flood, definitely there's like just a little pile of just rocks at the bottom of the street. At Ridgely Oak Road in what is that, Orlando? On that side.
Daytona?
So is it, so is it
Excuse
like
me,
in front, so is it like in front of somebody's yard and like a safety issue, or is it just starting to pile up more and more?
I didn't even know what to do with it, because like if you push it, it's gonna go into like the drains. You probably don't want it in the drains. So where does the
Right, don't
drain
want to do
go?
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it came out of anybody's yard or if they're just the amount of water that we had. It just
Brought
pushed it down the bottom of the hill. But yeah, definitely just driving over it may not be safe.
Right. And I think there was like 8 to 10 inches in the green zone of water, and I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of water." There it goes. All right.
Well, give us a call when you see it. We'll call Public Works and ask if they come out and sweep it up.
Okay.
And if they, and listen, they'll come out and they'll call us back and say, please don't call us to do that again. That's not what we do. Or they'll say they were happy to do it. So,
Okay.
right, Doris, we'll hear about it one way or
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my question on road paving, obviously you don't know when it is, but how will we get notice that it's occurring, or what? How is that broadcast?
Well, you'll get notices about the water relining first.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
mail,
So
or-
they put something on your door and they
there
let
we
you
go.
know, because you don't want to get stuck in your driveway for the
No.
day. It's a whole parking thing.
Mhm.
And, it could be a little painful for some people because I know you don't have, a lot of parking in your community, just like most of us. So, they will tell you the day that they're starting. And they'll let you, and they're going to be there every day, but they won't be in front of your house every day, right? So the one day they're done digging in front of your house and putting the asphalt back down, you'll be able to get in and out and park in front of your house. You may not want to for a day or two just because things get flung off the hot tar and the things. I mean, if you could find a place around the corner or something to park for the next day or something like that, but you will get a notice. They will put stuff in your door. They will be knocking on your door and hanging it.
Okay.
So let's get through the water relining first. And they'll tell you, because they will have to, sometimes they do shut the water off, even though they're laying next to it, because of they're digging close by, like, I don't know what they call it, like an interceptor, I think they call it. They may have to shut your water off for an hour or two. They will let you know if they're going to do that in advance.
I would recommend everyone put a couple of gallons of water in your house as a
I
backup.
would do that, but it's the contractor that does it, not the county. But when they did my old neighborhood where I lived years ago, they did that. The contractor had somebody, walking around the neighborhood, dating, putting the times on it, and said, we're going to be here this day. Don't park in front of the house, or if you don't want to get penned up in the driveway, move your car before 7 a.m.
Mhm.
So you don't get pinned in.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get notice.
I look forward to getting that notice. I'm so excited.
I can tell. I can tell.
Does anybody have anything else for?
No.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for giving us the update.
Sure, and thanks for waiting for me, everybody. I really appreciated that.
All right, cool.
And I want everybody to have a safe summer. Still be careful. Okay, there's lots of folks out there not vaccinated, and we still need to be careful. And but the numbers are really going down, and our COVID clinics are getting smaller and smaller. And we're a little over 51%, I think, for Baltimore County, and 48% for the state. So we, don't let our guard down. I want everybody to stay safe and still practice everything they've been practicing. But it's so nice not to have pimples on my face and be able to breathe with that mask. But so thank you for all that you do, and you guys have a great summer. And when's your next meeting? In the fall?
It should be in August, second week in August.
Okay. All righty.
Don't worry,
Keep
you'll
me in
get the email. You'll get the email.
Keep me in the loop, and thanks for all you do.
All right.
All right.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I think we're all set, right?
Time. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Great
Take
night,
care.
everybody.
Good night.
Night.